So I know I'm a little bit late to the party, but I do want to talk about my reaction to the Norman Powell, LA Clipper, Eric Bledsoe, Portland Trailblazers trade, because I have a little bit to talk about. So I'm driving home from Philadelphia, just finished up a financial time series class, one of my least favorite classes ever. Get an exam done with that. Driving back to New York in the pouring rain. I'm leaving off Broad Street, get on I-95 to get home. And I see a notification while I'm at a red light. It's a Woj. Still have his notifications on. I put him on for the deadline. And we got our first major trade of the 2022 trade deadline season. So you can see it on the screen now. I'll leave it up so you know the exact details of the trade and what I'm talking about. But Robert Covington and Norman Powell are getting traded from the Portland Trailblazers to the LA Clippers in exchange for Eric Bledsoe, Justice Winslow, Keon Johnson, and a 2025 second round pick from the Detroit Pistons. Man, there's a lot of things that I'm going to go into this trade. As I'm naming him, Justice Winslow, what a fall from, the sky, he had. What is it, fall from earth, fall from grace? I forget the saying, but yeah. Remember Point Winslow in Miami? Goes to Memphis in the Iguodala deal. Just bounced around now. Winslow's probably going to be out of the league after this contract, I think. Maybe he'll get 10 days. He'll probably play in the G League. Maybe minimums. It's a shame, though. He's getting bounced around a lot. Keon Johnson, not off to a great start of his rookie career, already getting traded. Got to learn a new system. Hopefully this opens up more playing time for him for the second half of the year. With the Blazers, due to their injuries and kind of where they are, I'm sure they want to showcase Keon Johnson, first round pick in the 2021 draft. Eric Bledsoe, I believe next year is a partial guarantee, so his team option will probably be declined, and he will be an unrestricted free agent. Second round pick from Detroit. Could be something in 2025, but I'm hoping, or I think they're hoping, that they're in the playoffs by then, because I'm sure they're going to have a nice draft pick this year, next year, and then they want to get things rolling with Cade Cunningham and the crew. So, initial thought, love this trade for the Clippers, man. I do. I think they were ready to make a big John Wall trade involving probably Bledsoe, Morris, and Kennard for Wall, and maybe Eric Gordon. It would have been tough to make the money work because John Wall's making so much. And this trade is great for them. Yeah, they lose Keon Johnson, and you don't really have a lot of young talent, but I think it's so worth it. Norman Powell, the way he's been playing, $15 million is a steal for him. It's just 5 years from now, or he's got 4 years left on his contract after this year. But him and Rocco are just great additions to Kawhi and Paul George. Now, that's kind of been very weird this year if Paul George is going to be coming back. Kawhi isn't even worth it for him coming back. If, say, they're in the play-in tournament, they sneak in there. Is it really worth rushing Kawhi back? Probably not. So you hope you just get a healthy Kawhi, healthy Paul George for next year. There's still be really good players. You got Norman Powell. You have Ivica Zubac. You kind of figured out with Reggie Jackson, Marcus Morris, Luke Kennard. And you round out a pretty solid roster there. You still kind of need to figure out your point guard. If you think it could be Reggie Jackson, I don't know. But I love this trade. You get Robert Covington, who will be a free agent next year, can help you this year. I don't know. Are they going to re-sign Rocco? You would hope so, because then it was really worth getting him in this deal, because you probably could have kept either Winslow or Johnson and just took on Norman Powell. So I don't really know. I'm sure they want to extend Rocco at least for next year, but Rocco could get a multi-year deal from a different team, and are the Clippers, but they have a rich owner. Steve Ballmer is rich. He's probably willing to pay the luxury tax. So honestly, initial thought for the Clippers, I'm going to give this trade an immediate A for them. You're getting Norman Powell, who's a proven two-way wing, just being another option after Paul George and Kawhi, and you have Jackson, Powell, George, Kawhi, and Zubac. That's pretty freaking good. When it matters, and they're all healthy, which we need to get to. And then Rocco, great player off the bench, and we'll see what's gonna happen this year. We'll see if they re-sign Rocco, but A for me. You gave up a veteran point guard who I'd rather have Powell over Winslow. Was he going to be in the playoff rotation? Probably not if everybody's healthy. Same with Keon Johnson. And yeah, he was a 25th pick, but would you have moved the 25th pick on draft night in a future second for Norman Powell? Yeah, you would. You would do that, and that second round pick might be something, but you would think the Pistons are going to be good by then. So, love this trade for the Clippers. Trailblazers, oh boy, let's get into this. Man, I don't know what to think about this Blazers team, man. I really don't. So, we could go back to the 2020 offseason, where the Blazers gave up the rights to basically that ended up being Sadiq Bey, who would be a great fit on this Blazers team. Now, they might not have drafted him. This was prior to the draft. They gave up their first round pick then and another one, protected first, for Robert Covington. like, I don't really agree with that. Houston gave up picks for Robert Covington, and then the Blazers did. And Covington has, I think, lost that value that he had once when he was in... Where was he when he got traded to Houston? Like, right before that, he ended up playing center. Where was he? Minnesota, yes, from the Jimmy Butler trade. And, man, you gave up those 2 first-round picks, and you gave up Gary Trent Jr., who's been so good this year. And he's like 5 years younger than Norman Powell, and making a little bit less money. You gave him up for Norman Powell, who you immediately flip in this salary dump deal. Holy shit, the incompetence coming out of Portland. Now, I don't know if that was them just trying to retcon Neil O'Shea's deals and just, like, try to make amends to that, because, like, maybe the new ownership, or excuse me, not the new ownership, the new front office just hated what he did because that whole saga happened this year. And you basically just traded your 3rd best player. I'd rather Norman Powell. And you're probably your 5th or 6th best player, like where you have Nance and Nurkic and then probably Covington. For Bledsoe, who probably won't be there next year unless he loves it in Portland, they decline the team option because he's not worth $18 million anymore, and they get him back on a cheap deal. Okay, good veteran backup point guard, fine. Winslow under contract next year. Sure, I don't think you're gonna, like, you should play him. Like, I prefer Nasir Little over him. You got Keon Johnson, who you are gonna give a lot of minutes to showcase for the rest of the year, so you hope he kind of develops some scoring ability, because he's looking like a very, very poor man's Isaac Okoro. I don't think, like, he needs to do better. I think just like for the rest of the year, and, like, solidify that he could be a good player in this league. That 2nd round pick, like I just mentioned, I don't know if it's going to have good value, but goddamn, Damian Lillard, you came off an embarrassing loss to the Nuggets that didn't have Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr., or they didn't have Jamal Murray. I don't remember if they had Porter. No, my memory sucks. But they didn't have Jamal Murray, and Lillard's like, yeah, we're not ready to compete. This isn't a competing roster. Okay, so you fired Terry Sachiko for Chauncey Billups. Didn't really like that move at all. Like, Rick Carlisle, I think, would have been amazing. But they go after Chauncey Billups, a rookie head coach, which doesn't really work out as much as people think it does in the league. Like, there isn't Nick Nurses everywhere. But I knew that wasn't going to be the fix. You had to move McCollum. That was the only thing this roster was constructed to change things up. Yes, they probably would have done him for Ben Simmons, and that was Daryl Moore just overvaluing Ben Simmons. It is what it is. But I think you should have found a McCollum trade. And, like, I'm trying to think where I was going with this. Yeah, you add Ben McLemore, Cody Zeller. What is going to get done with that? You re-sign Norman Powell to 5 years. You try to justify that by saying, okay, maybe he's not going to be worth it in 3 years and it'll be a negative asset. But either way, you're getting so much worse with this trade. You are. Like, I have to stutter there because I'm just mind blown how this team needs to go about things. So, like, you also traded your 1st round pick, lottery protected, for Larry Nance, and it's lottery protected till 2028. Then it becomes 2 seconds. But, like, you don't plan, like, you want to win with Damian Lillard, who you're probably going to give a 2-year, $100 million extension to. Holy shit, they're so screwed. They are not going to be able to do anything financially. They're going to be so cap-driven, or cap limited with the Lillard contract. Like, you're going to be forced to pay Nurkic. You're going to be forced to pay Nurkic because you're going to have no other talent to get. Oh, man, you really hope you get lucky in the lottery. You really hope you're able to add a Jabari Smith, a Banchero, a Cheddar, Jalen Duren, because boy, oh boy, you need so much help. You need, oh my God, you need a defense. Because yes, they're going to have their 1st round pick. I don't think this team makes the playoffs. Like, Anthony Simons has been great this year. Yes, that's a very good sign. That is a very good sign. I don't know if he could be the number 2 next to Lillard. I don't know if they'd be able to coexist, but they probably can. You know, they're good players. They'll figure it out. I think, like, Nasir Little has been good this year. He's definitely earning, like, more, like, he'll get minutes next year and he'll be a big part of that rotation. But boy, like, Nance, I don't know if you're going to flip him in the offseason. He's got, I believe, 1 year left on the deal, but I think you should keep him. But boy, oh boy, you have to move McCollum in this offseason. If they walk out next year with the same freaking backcourt and they bring back Nurkic and they end up with Benedict Mathurin or they end up with, I don't even know, AJ Griffin, you need to get lucky in the lottery. This is a team that desperately needs to get lucky because boy, oh boy, they've been in purgatory. And I hate this trade. I hate this trade for the Blazers. As more as I talk about it, I just would hate to be a Blazers fan right now because there's no freaking direction. And it sucks because you've had one of your best players in franchise history. You made it to one conference finals. Like, do you have to move to Lillard? I know you don't want to. I wouldn't want to either, but you might have to. And Lillard, at this point, he knows what he's getting into. He could easily request a trade and they'd grant it. So he knows what he's signing up for. Don't sign the extension if you don't want to, like, be with this team. I don't know what to tell you. But if you want to stay, good for you, man. Do what you want to do. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this trade down below. These are my reactions. I like it for the Clippers. Hate it for the Blazers. Maybe I'll change my mind about the Blazers. Hopefully they prove me wrong. We'll see. Please let me know what you guys think down below. Over on the main channel, have a new look Blazers rebuild out today, and then tomorrow will be a new look Clippers rebuild. So thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoy. I love y'all. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.